Center works on the IP office. You can set up as many, I'm going to say almost as many hunt groups as you want, or queues as you want, with as many agents in the respective queues, and you can have agents log into multiple queues. So you could, for example, say, thank you for calling company ABC. For service in English, press 1. For French, press 2. You can have reps in English or in French or bilingual, and you can have the agents log into both queues. Now, one of the things that we won't really have a lot of time to touch on as part of this presentation, about 10 minutes, I'll show you some of the screens, say top down. So it always goes to the first agent, to the top, then the second, third, fourth, fifth. So always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Or we can transfer in round robin. So transferred agent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of the other things that are built in from a call center perspective. So you could say, thank you for calling company ABC. All our agents are busy. Our estimated wait time is 2 minutes. Your position in queue is 3. And then multiple audio streams. So you could say, for example, an agent calling in for an English queue will hear their announcements in English. Agent calling in a French queue will hear their announcements in French. From insurance companies that are looking to record their calls, all inbound calls. And you can specify on the system if you want to record all inbound and or outbound calls. You can specify a percentage. So you could say, I want to record 2%, 10, 25, 100% of all inbound and or outbound calls per user or per queue. Does that make sense? And there's one other application for the system. Contact Store is an additional piece of software. So what you're looking at on the screen now is a view of Contact Store. This application will allow you, so for all those calls that you've recorded, this software, very inexpensive, you can go back in and you can specify, I want to listen to all calls for extension 222 from last Thursday between 10 and 2, all outbound only, go. And all the criteria, it's really small so you can't really see it, but that criteria, the search criteria, is in the left-hand part of the screen, and you can specify what kind of calls that you want recorded. So all of these applications
is another desktop application that's available as part of the Office Worker license or Power User license. And OneX Portal basically gives you desktop control of your phone. The area in the left where you see the telephone number 91908, whatever, that's the area that shows your active call. Your voicemail is in the bottom left-hand corner. You have a full corporate directory on the top right side, and you can set this screen up the way you like it if you want some areas bigger or smaller. And call logging, inbound, outbound, or both, and or missed calls appear in the bottom right. On the right-hand side, you'll notice this little chat window that's opened up, and Mark Massingham is saying good morning. Every user has instant chat, so you can instantly toggle back and forth. I know I've been in a presentation, had a quick question, I've sort of sent a chat off to Jeff and said, Jeff, how do you do this, or can the system do that? And I'll immediately get a response back, and then the person I'm doing the presentation to, of course, thinks I know everything. The portal, and you're on a conference call, it's going to give you a list of all the participants in that left-hand screen and give you the ability to mute or unmute anybody in the conference. Isn't that handy? Give you the ability to mute or unmute a participant in the conference, the ability to record the conference, or drop a participant off the call. So you have complete control. So it gives you more moderator type functionality when you're hosting a conference call. And you notice the little is a handy. Anybody using softphone? A couple of people. Softphone, great little piece. Now it's a video softphone with the new version. You have the full keypad as you see on the left-hand side of the screen. You know your inbound and outbound volumes. You know what it's going to sound like at the other end. By the way, if you're using a soft phone, use a USB headset, not the little headset with the barrel plugs. You'll find the sound quality is much better. Your status is down below. Just like on your desk set, you have a series of one-touch keys. You'll see that in the middle. Now, on your real screen, that would be displayed below. Flare communicator. This has been available on the Aura system for some time, and they've now brought it down to IP Office. It's a collaboration software client that delivers an innovation interface for real-time communications on either Windows or iPad platform. You can handle phone calls, instant messaging, presence, enterprise contacts, launch emails, all from the same interface. Works on Windows 7 and newer, Microsoft XP Home Professional Edition, and on iPad 2 or newer with iOS 5 or better. Phone icon, which if you're not using Tappy right now, is grayed out on your Outlook. It'll pull down a list of the telephone numbers you have. Click the phone number, your phone goes off Outlook and makes the call to your contact. And of course, as part of Outlook, it'll automatically open up a journal window if you're keeping notes of your calls that way. Very handy tool. It can also help you with screen popping on inbound calls. So when one of your clients calls, it pops up and you see your journal notes and you can say, oh, how was that golf game you went to last Friday? Or, how's your wife doing after giving birth to your child or whatever. So just as we talked about 1X Mobile, there's a 1X plugin for Outlook, and it appears on the right-hand side of your Outlook screen. And it gives you the full control, the 4 icons across the top with directory, visual voicemail, your call logs, pulling up the full dial pad, those full presence. And you notice on the presence, there's the larger oval that you'll see for the third name down is in green, and then there's a smaller one to the bottom right, and that tells you whether or not that individual has their chat enabled. So,
favorite parts of the IP office. So I've been selling this, and Digicom's been selling this product for 7 years. And you wonder, how can system administration be the favorite part of your phone system? So from the day that I saw, and before our company picked up Avaya, so we used to sell Nortel, sold it for 15 years, and in 2005 decided that we needed another product line. And when we started looking at different products, I'm not necessarily going to mention all the names that we looked at, I looked at the Avaya IP office, and from an administration point of view, it looks very similar today as it did 7 years ago, although there's a lot of enhancements. You'll see there something that says user. So if you clicked on that little plus mark, a whole screen would pop up, and some of the screens you can see on the right-hand side of the bigger blow up on the screen there. You could easily change the name, the call recording, the voicemail password, the voicemail to email. By the way, that feature is also built into the system. So unified messaging or voicemail to email, if you want to call it that, person gets a voicemail, emails it out to your Outlook or emails it to your BlackBerry or to your iPhone, etc. So this is what the main administration screen looks like. This piece here, system status monitors included with the system, and it gives you an overall health check of the system. So what's going on? What you're looking at on the screen now, it's really small, but what you'll see is a line that says voicemail, how many channels are in use, and how many instances where all of your channels were actually being used. Now, I can't possibly explain the entire scope of a product from one. The ability to create the queues, creating as many queues as you want, creating your auto attendant. So how is that done? So what you're looking at now is a big blank screen. I was talking to a client yesterday, and she showed me this big interface with all the calls connected, and a flow chart is the word I was looking for. So she showed me a flow chart of how her call flow actually worked, and this is how the system's created. So you'll start with a main box, and what I've now just put up is a main menu box. And when you double click that box, it opens up, and you now have the option of adding the key presses that you want into that menu box. So for example, if you say for sales, press 1, for tech support, press 2, for directory, press pound, those features. So you see here that transfer box was just built. You connect the dots, you connect more dots. So the top one, transfer to sales, bottom one, transfer to the operator, next one, dial by name. So and for example, what I was mentioning before, so this is a picture of our boardroom. This is a picture of our boardroom before we did we're doing some system training. And we have those sessions on a monthly basis. We send emails out to clients all the time. Come on in and sit in on some of our sessions. Oh, one more thing. So after the session, when the booth is open, come visit us at booth number 15. Drop your business card in. We're giving away an iPad. Well, not giving away iPads. Pulling names out of a hat for an iPad.
I'm going to run a short video on the Griffin Center, and I want to let you know that into our fishbowl here this morning, a donation is being made to the Griffin Center on our behalf. Griffin Center is a client of ours, and you're going to be hearing from Griffin Center in a moment. And in the meantime, what I'd like to do is just run a quick video for you, and theoretically this should play.